Now is also the time to choose Canada. There are many ways for you to do your part. It might mean opting for Canadian rye over Kentucky bourbon.
Now that video's from Saturday as Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau over the weekend mentioned our state by name after enacting tariffs against American goods. And
Okay, so this has been a troublemaker right here. Prime Minister of Canada. Obviously, him and Trump don't get along, right? For one reason or another. He talked tough over the weekend, talked about how he was going to put a 25% tariff on us as the United States. And lo and behold, less than 36 hours later, a deal has been reached. What did I say in my last video? I said, guys, the media, meaning, are going to tell us as much as they can, right? I truly believe that reporters do the best job that they can, but obviously as a general public, we're not going to be privy to all of the conversations and the underlying issues in these different spits and spats or tips, as I like to call it. But Canada has reached an agreement with the United States. The tariffs have been temporarily paused for the next 30 days. And I know this news is coming fast. It's coming fast for me too, as a content creator. I'm trying to keep you guys as up to date with everything as possible, but it's so much going on. It has been like one of the most active first couple of weeks of a new presidency I've seen in a very, very long time. So let's listen a little bit more.
And right now we come on the air at 5 with the last few minutes. ABC News reporting the tariffs for Canada are now on hold for at least 30 days. It's our top story. Hello, everybody. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Shay McAllister. According to ABC News, Canada is reportedly implementing a $1.3 billion plan to reinforce its border with the U.S.
What somebody said, wait a minute. Where's my sound effects? Somebody. Shout out to the X-Files. I don't know if you're a 90s babies like me, you know what the X-Files is. I used to watch it. It was on regular TV. It was a crazy show, but I love that sound effect because it is apropos to what we're talking about. What did I say? I said that this is probably surrounding around the border because just like Texas is on the border of Mexico, or, it's wrapped by Mexico, right? Canada is wrapped by Detroit. What did he just say? Let's run it back. I'm going to go back a little bit. What did he just say?
Canada is reportedly implementing a $1.3 billion plan to reinforce its border with the U.S. Those plans will also be meant to reduce the flow of fentanyl into the country. Nearly 10,000 workers will be at the border as part of the deal. It comes after the president threatened to enact tariffs over the weekend against Canada, China, and Mexico.
Now ABC News also reporting plans.
Before we go a little bit farther, though, hold up. Let me take a step back because I want to give a shout out to the Prime Minister of Canada, and I also want to give, I think it's the President of Mexico, right? Let's give him a hand clap. And the reason why I'm giving him this hand clap is because, yes, like at the end of the day, I mentioned in the last video that the U.S. is one of these countries' biggest customers and we do business together. So why not work together for a common cause that's going to help both of us? Like in business, there's rarely a win-win situation, but I think that this is actually going to end up being what's best for Canada and Mexico in the long run. We'll get to China. I know China is a big bully. We'll get to China. I'm not worried about that. But for now, I'm talking mainly about Canada and Mexico. Now, I have another video that we're going to react to, but I want to finish this out too. I want to be fair. Let's finish this and then I'll go to the other clip, okay?
Plans from Mexico to reinforce the border with 10,000 National Guard troops, while the United States says it will work to prevent the trafficking of high-powered weapons across the southern border as well. The two countries are set to talk more over the next month before an official agreement is reached. Donald Trump says these...
You hear that? We're also going to be working so illegal firearms is not transported down to Mexico for the cartel and stuff like that. So we're not just like don't look at what we're doing with the tariffs and with these different, regulations and stuff or whatever that the Trump administration is going to bring next. Because, like I said, it's moving fast. Don't just look at it as we're being a bully, guys. We are doing this for what's best for the United States. The United States comes first. It almost kind of reminds me of when you want to be successful, right? And you find out this new information. Maybe you're in a certain program, you're in school, or you just kind of broke into an industry. You're excited. You want to share these things with your friends and family and stuff, but you still have work that you need to do for yourself. And guess what? Just like these other countries, they have prime ministers and presidents. They want to run their country how they see fit, just like your friends and family want to run their household like they see fit. Focus on your own house. And that's the biggest thing that I appreciate about this administration is that they're doing what they said they was going to do. That is very, very rare in these times. And if you are one of those people that do what you say you're going to do, I'm going to give you a hand clap. Why not just pass it out today? Why not? Huh?
These tariffs are meant to lower costs for Americans, which economists say could have the opposite effect.
Fresh fruits and vegetables from Mexico, to maple syrup and vehicles from Canada, to consumer electronics and toys from China,
Of course.
and lots of stuff in between.
Experts say building materials could also be at risk, potentially raising the cost of buying a new home.
Yeah, probably temporarily. I say a lot of now. I have a love-hate relationship with economists because I believe that they have great insights. And when they talk about the economy and how, like inflation and stuff, I took an econ class and we learned a little bit about macroeconomics, microeconomics, and how, supply and demand work. But a lot of economists, and it's not all, but a lot of them have never successfully started a business, ran a business, been involved in free trade, capitalism and stuff like that. So it's like reading a business book from someone who has the theory, who has the school knowledge, but has never really done it in real life that can give you the stuff that books can't teach you. Because it's like you can't read a book to learn how to drive. You can read the permits book and you can go get your driver license and stuff and, learn about the stop signs and, turn signals and all that type of things. But in order to learn how to drive, you got to get behind the wheel. Business is a lot like that. You have to get behind the wheel. So I take what they say into consideration, but I don't take it as if it is the salt of the earth at all. I have another clip here. And this is a brief one, but it kind of touches on what we're talking about here too. We'll listen to a little bit. I'll pause it and we'll close out this video. Okay. Get that brought up right here. Boom. Let's go.
Just announced he will pause the 25% tariffs on Mexican imports. We have reporters in Mexico City and in the North Lawn of the White House. Let's go straight to CNN's Valeria Leon in Mexico City for the latest. Valeria, midnight was the deadline here where tariffs were supposed to be implemented. They're not now. Why?
So just think about that for a second. Midnight is when the tariffs were supposed to be implemented, or levied, right? This says 10 a.m. So the office just opened up in Mexico City at 9 CT time. An hour later, a deal was struck. Shout out to the president. I like how you do business. I appreciate that.
So in a surprising shift, tariffs on Mexican goods are now on pause after President Sheinbaum and President Trump reached an agreement. So rather than presenting today Mexico's response to the Trump administration tariffs, President Sheinbaum confirmed that she had a conversation with President Trump this morning, what she described as a long call of 45 minutes to talk about immigration issues and the interest that both countries have in reducing fentanyl consumption. Both governments reached an agreement to secure the border. Mexico has agreed on deploying National Guards to the Mexico-U.S. border, and the Mexican president said that she asked Trump to cancel tariffs on Mexican products, which Sheinbaum said that Trump agreed to. Mexico's economy minister, Marcelo.
You know what? I rock with Mexico. Shout out to the president. she seems to be a deal maker. I love deal makers. I appreciate that. Shout out to you for watching as well. Like I said, this information is moving fast. It is coming in. I've never seen a time like this. And maybe because I'm more intimately involved now than I was before, but it seems like things are moving so fast. I am going to do my very best to bring you the breaking news, but to close it out from the first video, it worked. It was a little bit what I said in terms of it was around the border, right? And around immigration and stuff like that, as well as being used as a negotiating tool. And anytime you can go to the table when you want to negotiate and you can get a win-win, or even if one person has a little bit more leg up or it's like a 60-40 split, I'd rather do that than to lose out on a great opportunity. Shout out to Mexico. Shout out to Canada. I'm looking forward. China, you next. You're on the clock. Let's